Hello everyone, how are you all? I hope everybody is doing good. Again, I have come back with some concepts about research methodology. Today, I'm going to talk about identifying the problem or formulating the problem. How to formulate the problem. That means for students or MBA, BB or MCOM or BCom students, formulation of problem is nothing but selecting the title of your project. You have idea that in this area, either in the marketing or HR or etc., you want to do research, but you don't know how to put that research problem which is there in your mind. Or I want to study about this pertaining problem which is happening right now. So I want to do research about it, but you don't know how to put it in a sentence format or researchable format, right? So I'm going to discuss about it. How after that we are going to discuss some examples also. Then you will understand how to make your conceptual things which you are thinking, that how to put forth my research problem, or how to make it in a statement form, or how to create a title for my project report. Then after watching this video, you will understand how to make the research problem or title of your research report. Let us begin with the session. I am Pallavi, Assistant Professor of Management, today here with you discussing about the formulating the research problem. Okay, let us begin. Research problem is something I have told you in the previous classes also. It is not an actual problem. Okay, it might be a area where management want to take decision upon, or it might be something it is a gap when you want to fill, or it is a decision makers existing body of knowledge, or it can be a basic research problem or applied research problem. Basic research problem is like your MBA project or theoretical model, or it is a applied research like your science researchers, medical science researcher, or action oriented marketing researchers, like that, for who the organization will complete. We'll understand what is research problem in more thoroughly. So research problem is something which is not exactly the problem which is there in the organization or which is there in the you. It is the thing which, or it is the area of study, or it is the uh, area of decision making you want to study upon. So this is about research problem. We'll understand in further slides more about the research problem. Before understanding the research problem, we have to understand what is non-researchable problem and what is researchable problem. Okay, in purview of organizational point of view. Okay, non-researchable problem which does not requires to research. Okay, it does not, any person should not do a research to come to an action or come to a solution. Okay, this can be this can be non-researchable problem. There is a problem or there is a decision where you want, management wants to take, but it is not necessary for every situation. There should be a research has to undergo. They should undergo the research method processes. It can be a the management can intuitively take the decision of depending upon their past experience, or if it is not understandable problem, or it is a new type of problem which is arrived, then the research is required. But it is like a built-in problem which administrator or your management can solve. That type of problem means that is not a research type, that is not a researchable problem. Okay, so researchable problem means what? A researchable problem is something which is, a difficulty when you have a difficulty in taking decision, or making decision, or planning something, or you're feeling discomfortable about something, or you want to know about something. That is called as a difficult researchable problem. Here, officials says that to qualify as a research problem, there should be three things which has to be there in that pertaining uncertainty or uneasiness about the situation. What is that? So there should be a discrepancy between what it is and what it should have been. Okay, what is what it is and what it should have been. In between, what exactly it exists. Okay, if the situation qualify these three questions, like what it is, what it should have been, and what is existing, then that could become your researchable problem. The second thing Fisher says that why, that if discrepancy is existing between what it is and what it should have been, then why this discrepancy is existing. Okay, if you have reasons for that, then it is qualified as the researchable problem. Then third thing Fisher says that there should be two or more than two possible answers to your questions. Okay, it is not exact answer. If you know the exact answer, then research is not required. There should be two or more than possible answers or assumptions which are available for your researchable problem. Means it is available for the situation, or uncertainty means that could be qualified as researchable problem. If there is only possible answers, means that is not a researchable problem. The management can directly take the decision upon, because there is a question is there, then the answer is available, only one answer is available, means you need not to do the research for the further inquiries, right? If it is more than two answers are available, or minimum two answers are available, then you have to do the research to understand which is the best possible answers for my research. Okay, so this is the problem identification process, or you can say problem formulating process. First, there is a management decision problem. I said that the problem may not be exactly the problem, right? It is something which management wants to take decision upon. It might be it's about exporting decision or expansion decision, or it is about new product launch, or it is about giving whether to give incentives or not to employees, whether it is about recruiting, why to recruit new employees. So there are different kind of decisions management wants to take. There is no problem, right? There's no problem, but they want to take decision upon. So that is the management decision. Management decision will be thoroughly investigated through discussing with the expert related to that problem, reviewing of the literature, organizational analysis, and qualitative analysis. After doing this, the management decision will be converted into research problem or research questions. Okay, then that converted questions can build up one research framework for you. Then the statement of research objectives, then you formulate the hypothesis. If you do these stages, then your problem identification process stage will be completed. So what is management decision problem? Okay, management decision problem is like it should be resolved through research. Some problem which does not have answers, a single answer it is there, means it is a non-researchable problem. They can take decision upon past experience or intuition. If it has a various answers, then it qualifies as a researchable problem. Then management has to go through the researchable problem. So it is a difficulty which management encounters to get the exact, what is the exact answer for my uneasiness, or the for the decision which I'm going to take, right, as a management. Let us take an example to understand this. I'm going to take this example for my entire session. Okay, organic food product trader in Karnataka, XYZ Farms wants to sell his organic food products in the Indian domestic market. Now there is an XYZ farmers who produce the organic food grains. They want to sell these food products to in Indian domestic market. Okay, that is the researchable questions. Researchable problem, right? Because they want to sell into entire Indian domestic market, right? They are from Karnataka, but they want to sell their food products, organic food products in entire market. Now, for that, first what they will do, they will start discussion with the expert, right? To formulate this as a researchable objective, then this researchable problem, they start discussing with the expert. So why they discuss with the experts? Because to get the new ideas, right? They can get the new ideas from the experts. Experts are the people who know thoroughly about the area under study. That's why they go to industry experts or subject experts, maybe a nutrition as a subject expert, or industry experts who are already selling the organic food products. Then they can go with the industrial expert or with the subject expert. They can go with structured interview kind of thing, so that they can get their answers and record their answers thoroughly, so that they can refer it for the further research processes. Then why this discussion with the expert, why it has to be done by the researcher? Because they have to gain the clarity about the problem, right? Or to get the what kind of solutions we might get. It is not the exact solution, what kind of solutions we might get. To understand that also, they can go to the industrial expert or subject expert for the to come to formulating the problem. Here I have given the example of same thing. For organic food industry, researcher might decide to go to food experts in the Ministry of Food and Agriculture. Okay, they are the experts, or agriculture economists, how we can sell our organic food products in our entire domestic market. Then our retailers who are storing your organic, storing different companies' organic products, or dietitian and nutrition, where where we can go to and discuss about the what are the benefits of the organic food and how it can be given, make it as a likable perception to the customers in the domestic market. Okay, next, review the existing literature. It might be a journal, newspaper, or magazines, or your social media blogs who are giving opinions or feelings, or already done researches there. If you are there publishing related to your organic food products, so that can be a that can help you in formulating the problem. Okay, after reviewing of literature will help us to get the different perspective of doing research and different methodologies which existing researchers already has applied. Whether I want to go to the same methodology, or I can give a different perception of the methodology to my my research, so that I can come to a different kind of conclusion. Okay, but literature review is mainly due to understand the gap what existing researchers have already done with their own methodologies. If it is done with a different methodology, or verify different variables, then what could be the results, how it would change. If you understand that, that is the you identify the gap. Or if you are not identified any, if they have done only to particular region or particular set of population, what it is, what if it is done to another set of population of another region population, what the results would be, how the results would be different. You can understand that the research gap from existing literature. Next comes the organizational analysis. So this is depending upon the history of the firm, like what kind of firm this XYZ farmers are, what is the size of the firm, what are the assets, what is the turnover of that firm, what kind of nature of the business they have, what are the locations they can supply to, what are the resources they have if their demand or increases or something. So that kind of organizational analysis within the organization we have to do before conducting the research or before formulating the problem. Qualitative research problem, where we are a qualitative research problem, when these three will not help us or will not sufficiently help us, then we have to go to this kind of analysis, that is qualitative research problem. So that can be done through expert interview, like how we have mentioned in the first stage, or secondary data or organizational information. If these three are not helping us, then we have to go for the qualitative survey. Okay, next, objective, formulating the objective. Now, to understand the purchase intention of the health conscious consumer for organic food products, to evaluate the influence of advertisement on the sale of organic food products. Now, XYZ company wants to understand, to identify these two, these are these two or their objectives. So to formulate the problem, I have to formulate the objective, so that I can come to a conclusion whether to take up this research or not. So I have taken as an example here, first objective is to understand the purchase intention of a health conscious consumer for organic food products, whether they want to buy or not. To evaluate the influence, what if I give the advertisement about my XYZ farm organic products to the consumers whether they are going to buy or not. Okay, if you remember, once again I'll show you the example of what we have taken. This is the example which I am discussing now. An organic food producer in Karnataka XYZ Farms want to sell his organic food products in Indian domestic market. For that, these two are the objectives which they have selected, right? Next comes to hypothesis formulation. There will be a null hypothesis and alternative hypothesis. This is a hypothesis or assumption or suggested solution. Okay, these are the not exact solution. The suggestion or expected result from our research. Okay, so here I have taken for one objective that advertisement and sale. The second objective here, right? The advertisement, whether the influence of advertisement will increase the sale of the product or not. So here I've taken as independent variable advertisement and dependent variable as the sale. Okay. So what hypothesis, how I define hypothesis, how I formulate hypothesis is, consumers liking for the advertisement for the organic food products will not have positive impact on sale. Whether they are liking your advertisement, watching your advertisement or not, they are not having any significant impact. They are not buying your product. Okay. Alternative hypothesis that is that consumers liking of advertisement of organic food products will have positive impact on the sales. Means the people who are liking your advertisement, watching your advertisement, that is influencing on them and they are buying your product. Okay, these two things which we have to prove or disprove in the further stages of researches, like by using statistical or mathematical tools. Okay. So this is about formulating the problem. First, we have to understand whether it is a researchable problem or non-researchable problem. Then the research problem is like a decisional problem through the management. So what should be done to increase the customer base for organic products in the domestic market? This is our problem. Management wanted to take decision upon this particular situation. Then it has converted into research question by formulating objectives and hypothesis. So what is the awareness of health conscious consumer in the organic product, whether it can be influenced with the advertisement or not. Then the research problem finally would be selected, formulated, like the impact of advertisement on sales of organic products in organic food products. Okay, you can say that organic food products in or you can say that a study on impact of the advertisement on the sales of organic food products in India, okay, of XYZ farmers. Okay, that could be your researchable format. Let us write that researchable problem here. Okay, a study on impact of advertisement on the sales of organic food products of XYZ farmers in Indian domestic market. Indian domestic market. Indian domestic market. So the problem goes like this: a study on impact of advertisement on the sales of organic food products of XYZ farmers in Indian domestic market. You can mention the time also during 2020 to 2022. So 2 years you're going to study. This is your researchable problem, or how you have to make your research problem statement or your title of your project or thesis. Okay, I hope you understood today's topic, and for more updates on commerce and management subjects and research methodology subject, please subscribe my channel and keep informed about the updates. Thank you for watching.